Sopranos, The Wire, Deadwood, and 6 Feet Under, 2000s, through Homeland, The Americans, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and dozens more. When I was young and just starting out, I was eager to make my mark in cinema. At that time, people didn't take series television very seriously as an artistic form. The television work that came my way felt like practice, a chance to keep active, maybe even learn a little something about directing that I could apply when the next feature came along. But the surprise for me has been that working in television is where I came of age as a director. TV has offered innumerable opportunities to master my craft and find my creative voice. I was fortunate to be directing during the start of the second so-called golden age of television in the late 1990s, a flowering of visually sophisticated and thematically complex series unlike anything that had come before. Thanks to shows like The Sopranos and The Wire, high-end television now offers more challenges and room to grow than most mass-market films. Still, a lot of people who get into directing continue to think of film as their goal, and television as a placeholder until they join directors like Martin Scorsese, Alfonso Cuarón, and Jane Campion in the pantheon. But series television has evolved into its own unique art form, combining the psychological depth of the novel with the allure of the cinema. If you're a director worth your salt, you'll approach the creation of an episode of television with the same care and imagination you would your own film. From my earliest assignments, I've been privileged to work on many of the shows that help change the way we see television. In addition to the shows mentioned above, these include 21 Jump Street, Northern Exposure, Party of Five, True Blood, Entourage, Big Love, Treme, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, House, Friday Night Lights, Lost, Alias, Masters of Sex, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Walking Dead, Damages, Bloodline, Ray Donovan, True Detective, 7 Seconds, The Killing, Get Shorty, Snowfall, Billions, and The Boys. As television has evolved, it's expanded to embrace characters, subjects, and sensibilities that would have been unthinkable before. What we were seeing, starting with shows like The Sopranos, The Wire, and 6 Feet Under, was the emergence of a new art form. Television viewers have always enjoyed spending years with characters they love, from Mary Tyler Moore to The Bunkers to Friends and Jerry Seinfeld. Yet something happened in the late 1990s. Writers and directors began to go deeper and approach their narratives in a more novelistic way. The advantage that novels have always enjoyed over visual forms of storytelling is the depth made possible by the sheer number of hours that readers spend with the characters, like Herman Melville's Captain Ahab or Leo Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. In the 90s, writers and directors began to expand beyond one-off episodes that kept the world of the show fixed and unchallenged. This led to freedom not simply to recreate the same old favorite character bits, but instead to explore characters and dramatic situations with new depth. And viewers loved it. People expanded their conception of what they looked for from television. Binge watching was born. In many senses, directing an episode of television and directing a feature film are identical jobs. In both cases, the director bears responsibility for the actors' performances, determines the camera angles, decides how much coverage to shoot, supervises the director's cut, and must answer innumerable questions from a variety of creative departments. She approves locations and schedule, has critical input on casting choices, and is responsible for taking command of the set. Most importantly, the director in both formats is the one assessing moment to moment how the story is working and how best to tell it. But there are differences. For one, the television script is a given, as opposed to possibly being developed by the director in conjunction with the writer of a feature film. Input can occur, but there generally isn't time for significant changes, and the power balance is heavily weighted toward the episode's writer. This points to the biggest difference between directing features and directing series television. The director in episodic TV must blend his vision with that of the showrunners, not vice versa. That showrunner, often the writer who created the show, is the one in charge of guiding the writing process, interacting with the network or stream.